Nevertheless, there is strong support for the possibility that it happened in just this way. What was special about Phoebe? Never heard of her? What was special about her? We know what was special about Mary, about Ruth, about Jezebel, about Eve and Sarah. So who was Phoebe? If it weren't for Phoebe, you might never have heard the words, "For all who have sinned and come short of the glory of God." There might never have been a song entitled, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." You might never have known that the wages of sin is death, or that there is none righteous, no, not one. Are you putting it together? Do you recognize Paul's letter to the Romans? It was into Phoebe's loving and trustworthy hands that Paul placed his precious letter for delivery from Corinth to Rome. Picture her, if you will, a dependable woman in a plain, long cotton dress, traveling by camel and donkey over the dusty miles through Asia and Macedonia, then journeying on in a boat into the Roman Empire, determined to carry the word of God to its destination. Travel was difficult and dangerous in those days. There were no superhighways or airplanes or protective policemen. There was no porter to carry her luggage, nor could she play shuffleboard while crossing the Sea of Adria. Paul was worried about her. "I trust you completely for this mission, Phoebe, but I am concerned for your safety." "My safety, Paul? I live in a seaport. Corinth is full of wickedness. If God were not caring for me, my life would already be ended. I have ministered to drunken sailors, dishonorable women, escaped murderers, and many other types of people, not to mention you, coming here all tired and ill from all those travels of yours. I can certainly manage the journey to Rome." "Yes, I believe you can, and you shall. The Lord cares for you in a mighty way, Phoebe. He will see you safely through. Oh, and I will also send a note of introduction to the Christians in Rome, that they might extend to you the warmest of welcomes, a welcome befitting a saint." Thank you, Paul. Phoebe was Paul's friend. She was a deaconess of the Zenker Church, Port of Corinth, where Paul wrote his letter to the Romans at the end of his third journey. Her life was filled with acts of charity, hospitality, and friendship. She was a missionary in the most difficult of places, her hometown. It seems that Phoebe was so busy caring for the needs of others that she had no time for selfish thoughts. Just imagine the scope of possibilities for God's will in such a committed life. Did Phoebe hesitate when Paul suggested that she might deliver the letter to Rome? Not 1 minute. She recognized God's hand, and she responded in absolute faith. Even in the face of a difficult journey, Phoebe was at peace. When Paul recognized this, he too was at peace. No panic, just peace. Rest in the Lord. David said that long before Phoebe's time. Do we rest in him? Are we at peace? "I want to follow your will, Lord. I will go wherever you lead. I will face any foe. I will carry your word in my heart and deliver it to all I meet. You can depend on me." Those were not idle words. They were promises, sincerely offered and sincerely kept, with no demands for fame or fortune in return. The fulfillment of such promises take a special kind of person, persons whose life was totally committed to God. Who was Phoebe? Phoebe was a special kind of person. She is a model for us whose commitment to God is insufficient. Will you please rise? And now I ask you to bow your heads and hear these words from Paul's letter to the Romans. "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Amen.